Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 14 of my 1 versus 3 versus 3 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against two separate teams of 3 Emperor AI per team, and I'm playing as the Halfling Dreadnought, Welby the Tinkerer. In our last episode, we encountered the first city of an opponent that we actually have a good visual range on here. And you can actually see it's the city of Sassistan here, which is a city that belongs to Colm the Lucky, who is a human warlord, and you can see Colm right here. So we now actually have eyes on the domain of one of our opponents, so we can start kind of progressing and trying to push back and maybe take over some of these cities and gradually kind of work our way out of our little corner of the map here and start, again, really taking the fight to our opponents. We also had to defend one of our cities, and this actually happened in the Shadow Realm. We defended here the city of Yargan against the forces of Colm the Lucky, and we actually killed off one of his heroes, and kind of appropriate that his name is Lucky because he made a decision that ended up kind of making me feel very lucky that I was able to get the kill. But in any case, in this episode, I think we're going to continue to push and try to kind of really start making more of an offensive kind of endeavor out of our domain here and really start trying to hunt down and bring the fight to our opponents so that we can start trying to kind of whittle them down, hopefully one by one. Now, before I dive into the episode, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the last episode. The first of those comments comes from Civ5 Addict. Civ5 Addict pointed something out regarding Divine Justicars. Now, so just to remind everybody, Divine Justicars is the upgrade that you can get for Theocrat heroes. It's kind of their level 11, so sort of their almost, I guess you would think of it as kind of their penultimate upgrade that affects all the units in the stack. And basically what it does, all units in the hero's army gain Resurgence. This ability only functions when the hero is leading the army. Doesn't affect undead units, of course. Now, the great thing about Divine Justicars is that, as it says, all the units will get Resurgence. What Civ5 Addict is pointing out is that this also applies to the hero. And you can see that Holly herself actually has Resurgence as well. So even if, and I've been very, very cautious with Holly because I didn't want her to die as well in battles because she's the one providing Resurgence to all the other units. But what Civ5 Addict wanted to remind me of is that the hero herself also gets Resurgence. So if Holly were to die in battle, as long as I win the battle, she should come back. Now, there's one caveat to this, and this is, again, my current understanding of how this mechanic actually works, but the idea would be that if Holly were to die in battle, she would have Resurgence when she died, meaning she would come back if I won the battle. However, once Holly is dead, in the remaining turns of that battle, if any of my other units were to die, so let's say my flyer died, it currently has Resurgence because Holly's alive, but if in the battle Holly goes down, I think then if the Draconian Flyer were to die after Holly did in the battle, then I won the battle. I would get Holly back, but I wouldn't get the Flyer back because since Holly was dead, she couldn't apply Divine Justicars to any of the remaining units in the battle. So as long as Holly is alive, all my units should have Resurgence, including Holly herself. If Holly goes down, my units then, I have to be careful because Holly will come back as when she died she had Resurgence, but my other units may not. So again, that's my current understanding of how Divine Justicars work. Feel free to leave a comment if my understanding is incorrect or if you've had different experiences yourself. So thank you to Civ5 Addict for basically pointing that out and reminding me that even if my hero goes down, it's not necessarily the end of the world. The next comment comes from Ivan Rockland. Now, Ivan pointed something out regarding, and this is kind of jumping outside of the game for a second, but regarding my channel and my video titles. So Ivan pointed out that since I play the game with mods and also with Ironman, meaning that I don't reload saves if something doesn't happen favorably for me, at least wherever possible. Again, the only exceptions are if I have a technical glitch or something where my game crashes midway through me recording an episode and I then have to re-record and inevitably replay certain turns. But if that does happen, I always make sure to tell you guys about it in the episode as I'm talking, kind of introducing the episode or whatever else. So again, I use the Iron Man approach, and Ivan is pointing out that that's important information for you guys to have regarding kind of the videos and my channel and all these things. And I think that's a great point. So I'm going to start adding in that I do Iron Man and all these other things into the video description. I already do list the mods and kind of any other game setup features and things like that. But that's a great comment from Ivan. But the other thing that this brings up is, would you prefer if my video titles were more descriptive? Currently, I just list the game that we're playing, Age of Wonders 3. I list the race and class of my leader, and then I list the episode number. So it'll be like Age of Wonders 3, Halfling Dreadnought, number 14, or whatever it might be. Would you prefer more description in my video titles? Would you prefer a little unique kind of moniker for each episode, like, the adventure begins for episode 1, and then episode 2 might be building my army, or whatever it might be? Would you prefer a descriptive thing for each episode, or do you kind of like the way I do it currently? Again, I'm interested in what you guys have to say, because I never really gave it much thought other than just kind of systematically organizing my episodes by number. So if you would prefer that, I can definitely make that happen going forward. So let me know what you guys think. And then finally, just a quick shout out here to Casper Eklund. Casper just pointed out, in the last episode, I had sort of mused that since the onslaught of penguins, we had that event that had happened. I'm gesturing up here because you always see the little events in the top corner there. We had the event where we had the strong druid hero with his army of penguins that were sieging our cities, but right after the turn where the penguins began sieging my cities, they all disappeared. And that only happens if the archdruid hero that shows up with the penguins is killed. So I suggested that what probably happened is the hero was killed in some off-screen battle that I wasn't able to witness. And Casper agreed. He said that that's almost certainly what happened. So, big thank you to everybody for leaving the excellent comments. And as I mentioned, please, feel free to give feedback on the episodes and the way that I do the video titles. Because, of course, I would prefer that you guys, that I can do them in such a way that you guys get kind of the most value out of it. And I know the title might sound kind of silly, like, why am I worrying about that? But it might actually make it easier for you guys to kind of know which episode is which and kind of what's going on. So in any case, feel free to provide any kind of feedback like that. And on anything else as well, I'm happy to, hear what you guys have to say and try to incorporate that feedback into the overall presentation. All right, let's dive in here. So, again, we've got now eyes on the city belonging to Colm here. So, unfortunately, the stack that we have in the vicinity isn't exactly, obscenely powerful or anything like that. We've basically just got a number of our tier 2 units here. We've got our machines, our golems, and then we've got a musketeer, an engineer. The builder is there to maintain our machines, and then we also have ourselves a blight doctor. So we may need some backup if we're going to siege the city. As you can see here, we have human warbreed, a number of ranged units here, a melee unit, trebuchet. So we've got quite a bit defending the city, as well as a wall that you can see there. So chances are we're going to need backup. And I think that's where these units are going to come into play. So we do have ourselves quite a number of other units here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start sending them off to go in and reinforce what we've got going on up there. I think we'll send our... Actually, let's see. We've got range, melee, range. I think we'll send one spy drone. And then I believe we'll also maybe just send a couple of our skewer units here. So there we go. We've got ourselves another stack that can move on up and assist with the eventual siege of the city here. So I think that's going to help us out. Again, we're making use of a number of these goblin units that actually were gifted to us by our vassal city of Valok here as a tribute. So it was actually quite nice to get them. Yeah, and then I think we'll just leave a few units here. Since this is kind of a frontline city, I would rather have some units here to defend, actually. Now, at the end of the last episode, I was interested in trying to have this particular outpost become a vassal of mine, but I don't have enough gold. So, I was trying to figure out how to gain a little bit extra gold here. We could try this Lost Library, although that probably won't give us a ton of extra gold income. But I think that would be a good choice just regardless to try to raid with Pimpton here. Now, the one thing to remember, Pimpton is not level 11, so we do not have Divine Justicars here. So we're going to have to be a little bit wary of our units going down in this battle. And by a little bit, I mean I really don't want anyone to die. Okay. Now, the unit that I'm probably going to want to try to recruit would be either the Mystics or the Forge Priest. Now, the Forge Priest has quite high resistance. The Mystic, not quite so high, so that might be a better chance. The only issue is that as a Tigran, it does have Spirit Protection, which will sort of mean that it's going to be difficult no matter what I do. Now, let's see, what can we do? We can step up our Adventurer and blast this Reanimator for some nice damage. And then we can move our Slither up and do some work here. Get that kill out of the way, that's great. Now, our Sun Guard, unfortunately, isn't quite able to make it all the way in there. And it would be great to kill off the other Reanimator such that we don't have to worry then about this unit coming back as a cadaver. Not that that's a huge problem for me or anything, but what we'll do is we'll use Bestow Iron Heart on our flyer. And the reason for that is that this Evangelist is going to inevitably try for a conversion. So I think what we'll do then is we'll send our flyer kind of right in there. Now, we're going to take quite a bit of damage, I'm sure. I have no doubt of that. But we'll also send our Sun Guard in there. Now, let's see what happens. Okay, so they healed themselves. Tried for the conversion, and thankfully it did not work. And then our flyer is tanking most of that magic damage that was coming their way. Okay, so now let's decide. In terms of conversion attempts here, let's see. Only a 30% chance on that Forge Priest, which is really not great. I think I would prefer the Forge Priest just because it has Guardian Flame and can provide some healing. But the Mystic might be a little bit easier to actually recruit there. So, let's see, what's our range on converts? We'd have to step up a bit more. So, I think what we'll do, somewhat begrudgingly here, but I think we will kill off the Dwarven Priest here. Now, the question with the Slither is, should I just move in and maybe attack the Evangelist? Our Sun Guard should be able to get the kill on the Forge Priest without too much trouble, I think. Yeah, there we go, no problem. And then we can actually tie up the Evangelist with our Slither, which is really good. And then, now, our Flyer, let's kill off the Reanimator. Get that done. Very nice. I do have to be kind of careful. I don't want Pimpton getting too far in there and being at any real risk. And of course, if we were to try the conversion on the Mystic and have it fail, which it more than likely will, I mean, again, I don't think we're going to get great odds. Might actually be better to just go move in and drop a heal rather than put ourselves in any unnecessary risk. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to get too far in there with Pimpton. Okay, so our Slither is going to tank some damage. No worries there. We can give ourselves a nice slip away for some extra health. Okay, so now let's go for the conversion here. They're only a 33% chance. Yeah, I didn't really expect it to pan out for me there. Do a little extra damage. And we can fly in behind and get the flank kill. So, now let's see. We're probably going to get a spell out of this one, so we more than likely won't get any extra gold, but we did get Banish. So that can get rid of a summoned unit or a unit of magical origin. It's not a terrible thing to get our hands on. Okay, so yeah, we now, fortunately, we are one shy of being able to get back to those haste berries. That would have been great, because then we could have gone up and cleared out some of these structures up here. I think what we'll do instead, though, is we'll make for the watchtower, which we'd like to clear out. Now, we did get our level up with Pimpton, which is fantastic. We're going to give him Divine Justicars. So now we can be a little bit more fast and loose with our units here, because if they die, it's not the end of the world. We now have Resurgence for them. We already moved our War Master Habby here Let's see, is there anybody else we can still move? I can't remember if we finished off... Yeah, we did finish off Holly's movement. Little spy drone's already done its thing. I think we've done our digging. Yep, so that's been done. Now this unit can move. Now, I think, if I remember right, yeah, we have some evidence here that this city has been besieged probably by one of our opponents. And I was going to send this group up to go and investigate. The only problem is they're not exactly powerful. I mean, we've got 2 Tier 2 cavalry units, pretty decent support unit, and of course, somewhat expendable kind of Tier 1. I shouldn't say expendable, but inconsequential Tier 1 unit. So, really not a ton of powerful units there. Nothing really to kind of aid them. You know what, though? Let's do it anyway. We'll stick to the road. We can go up there and see what we can see, and then we can decide what to do from there. Now, we are able to produce Juggernauts finally, so we have that researched. The only kind of issue there is that we're going to have to give ourselves the structures to be able to do that. So, for example, in our throne, we would have to construct an industrial plant, which does take quite a bit of turns here. We've got 200 gold, 300 mana cost, so it's not cheap by any means. So we may kind of hold off on worrying about Juggernauts for a little bit, but obviously in the near future it would be great to get that sorted out. Now, we have these cannons, and since our... since we've gotten rid of those penguins, I think what we'll do is we'll start sending the cannons off, or I guess we didn't get rid of them, but we'll send the cannon off here to join Bebjun and kind of eventually reinforce the units that we have going up that way. I think that's probably a good choice. As for the cannon sitting here in Hard Thistle, suppose something we could do is maybe replace one of these units. Or just have it kind of as a... We could start building another stack, which maybe isn't such a bad idea. Okay, I think that more or less does it for our unit movement, but we did have, and I saw it and then kind of got a different train of thought, Leo here can still move. So, let's see how bad this Ancient Ruin is, because if it's really strong... you know, that's pretty nasty. I mean, the troll plus all these dread spider babies, we're going to get webbed. That's basically inevitable. Now, what I would do is I would use my spell casting with Leo to apply... Yeah, and he's got all his all of his casting points here. So I would use the spells. I would use Phoenix Warrior on Leo and probably my Brew Brother and maybe even the Mystic. I could convert the Mystic into the Werepanther to have another melee unit. This is actually quite the gamble. And we're also going to be cursed. Can't forget that. Let's do it. I mean, again, I'm probably going to regret this, but let's try it. Okay, thankfully they did not come to attack me. That's exactly what I wanted. So, we're going to throw Phoenix Warrior on Leo. We're also going to take one of our Brew Brothers here and apply Nourishing Meal to him to just give him more health. Okay, perfect. We still have time to apply some more upgrades here. So now our other Brew Brother is also going to get Resurgence there. Now we have 2 units that can really kind of get in there, and if they die, it's not the end of the world. Okay, we're going to do one more spell cast here. We're going to apply... You know, we could actually give Last Stand as well, but Phoenix Warrior might be good on the Mystic as well, just to have another insurance policy there. Now, we do have to do damage here soon, or else we're going to be in trouble. The battle will just kind of end. So, let's see, can we just step up with our Mystic here and do something? So let's do a little bit of damage there. That's just to keep the battle going. Now, with Leo, we're going to throw a Last Stand on... Maybe on himself. Let's see. Does he already have... Let's take a peek here. So he doesn't have a pole arm of any kind. So I think that would actually be really good to have on himself. So we'll give him Or either that or we'll give him Lion's Courage, which would be really good too. Yeah, let's give him Lion's Courage. Let's beef him up, make him real strong. Now, our Mystics are going to get attacked, unfortunately. Oh, okay, I guess not. Well, let's hit him again. Let's see if we can just keep doing that. Let's see if they're not going to move. Okay, there they go. So, thankfully, we actually resisted the webbing touch, which is great. Now, we can let these wargs absolutely have it here. Let's do that. Very, very nice. Now, with Leo, we can step up here. Probably kill off the Dread Spider baby without too much issue. Let's do a little bit of damage there, and then get the charge kill on the spiders there. Now, what we're going to do with the Mystic is we're going to switch into a Werepanther, and then we're going to do... Ooh, you know what? We could get the kill here if we get some decent rolls. Let's try it. Oh, not quite. Very close, though. Again, remember we have Resurgence there, so we don't have to worry. Okay, thankfully, we actually are in really good shape now. So let's step up here with our Panther. Do that. Move this Brew Brother. Actually, we could just... Yeah, we'll do this. We'll move up like that. Get the kill there, like, no problem. And then now, the Troll, unfortunately, does have regrowth, so we're probably not going to be able to kill the Troll off completely. And it's going to regrow there, yeah. Now, our Brew Brother did his job. He tanked the damage, and although he died, it's not the end of the world because he can come back thanks to Resurgence. And then we'll get the kill, I think, with Leo. Let's just see. Okay. It's just seeing if we had any... You know what? We can try for a Dispel, I suppose. Get a little bit of extra experience there if we can. Excellent. Okay, so very nice. We cleared that out. Let's see. Nice, and we got some gold and some knowledge. Longsword of Dire Penguin Slaying. We really don't have much in the way of items. Now, unfortunately, 42 gold isn't going to be quite enough. If we sold it, we would have enough. But again, it would be nice to have some melee items because we really have nothing for most of our heroes. I think I'm just going to take the reward, honestly. Yeah, we'll give this to Leo since he kind of needs it. The extra melee damage, that is. And then, have we... Okay, we haven't made a peace treaty with this outpost, but I'm hoping they'll maybe think about giving us a quest or something. Oh, and look at that. Oh, nice. We have another option for a battle here. Now, important to remember that we're basically out of casting points, so we might not actually be able to do this battle this turn. Oh, and look at this. We've got a spawning structure right here. Magic Rift. So we're going to have to get rid of that because we've got these elemental units that are going to be problematic for us, that's for sure. Now, Leo obviously is in great shape, but he's not going to be able to cast anything except for a Last Stand. So, yeah, I don't think we want to risk. Ooh, look at this. We've got ourselves another... Oh, yeah, this is that dragon dwelling. I think we'll just camp Leo out right there. Now, this spy drone can continue to move. Oh, and we can actually move with Welby as well. So let's... First things first, let's clear out this pesky structure here. Perhaps we'll get a reward from this. Now, it'd be nice to grab this Shadow Elf Assassin via our Dominate. That would be quite useful. Buff our Elder here. We will throw this on our Pony Rider. Just buff them up a touch. And our Brew Brother can step up as well. You know what? We might even consider putting a Nourishing Meal on our Pony Rider just to make them that much more beefy. Blast that Shadow Stalker with a little bit of damage just to... Ooh, ouch. So, yeah, of course, taking that range damage as we sort of expect to. Alright, now, we need to break through this obstacle, of course. That's always the issue there, so let's get that done. And then, you know what? Let's use our Blight Doctor to... Ooh, but you know what? If we get in there too far, we're going to be in big trouble. So we'll throw a weaken on the Shadow Stalker. And then we can move our Farmer up to sort of provide some protection for the Blight Doctor, who is kind of exposed at the moment, which is not good. You know what? Let's step Welby up one more shot here, and then we can blast all these units in there. Very nice. Ooh, we got an Immolate on this one Scoundrel. Not that that's going to matter all that much, but a little bit of damage there. Now, our Brew Brother, step up like this. Put some work in on the Shadow Stalker. The thing I'm worried about is the Shadow Stalker coming around behind here. Ouch. Ooh, and our Brew Brother's really a little worse for wear at the moment. Ouch. Okay, so unfortunately we cannot use Dominate on the Shadow Stalker, so we're going to try it on the Assassin, I think. But first, let's kill off what we can here. So, we need to rescue our Brew Brother, who is in dire need of assistance at the moment. So, the Shadow Stalker out there really isn't too much of a threat. However, we can step up and get the kill like this. Fantastic. Okay. So that takes care of that. Now, we've got this Draconian Scoundrel here. Can we get the kill? Probably not. Oh, and we did. Fantastic. We got some good rolls in there. Now, we can finish off this Scoundrel, but maybe before we do that, let's see if we can actually get the Dominate off successfully. Nice, and we did. That's fantastic. Okay. So then we can get that finish and this finish, and that should be the battle. Wonderful. So we were able to dominate this Assassin, so that's another unit for us. Sundering Warhammer has Guardbreaker and some gold. Now this one I think we're just going to sell for gold. So now we have plenty of gold to actually bring this particular outpost into the fold as our vassal. Very nice. So this is kind of on the front lines here, going north, which is why I was really eager to get them as a vassal. I was quite interested in doing that. We also did... Oh, right. We brought this Archon Dwelling into the fold as one of our vassals as well, which is great. Okay, so we have this Spy Drone, which we could go grab this gold. The only issue is we haven't made peace with this particular village, and I don't want to make them angry, so we're going to avoid that for now. Instead, we're just going to do some more scouting here to see what we can find. Okay, it looks like we've actually got ourselves a Shadow Gate over here, which I think would be kind of interesting to venture through. So, oh, and look at this. We kind of worked ourselves into a little bit of a dead end. So, I think next turn we'll pay for a peace treaty with them so that we can wander through their domain. I maybe should have moved a little closer before committing to that. Okay. I think that more or less does it for this turn in terms of unit movement. So now we're going to jump back to the surface here. Yeah, this stack's already done its thing. So now let's think about our next research project here. We've got some options. And I see here we have Summon Hellhound. Now, Summon Hellhound would be quite nice for us, as we really... All we've had so far to summon have been spy drones. This would give us a tier 2 unit that actually has some utility, which would be kind of nice. In addition, these units have fire resistance, which is going to go well with our endgame stuff for the Dreadnought. Sidearms, so this one isn't bad, as we've now kind of got a decent smattering of cavalry units that would all get the ability to fire pistol. Summon Siege Engine, of course, kind of, that wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, we've actually got some good options here. Now, the only problem is we don't really have enough extra knowledge to do anything quickly or to kind of expedite this process. Even flashbang, I mean, if we had 60, we could do it right now, but we don't. If we do sidearms, I mean, really, we're at 300. A lot of that's going to kind of just go to waste, which isn't so great. I think we'll do Summon Hellhound first, and then maybe we'll grab sidearms after. So let's do Summon Hellhound here first. Okay, Okay, over to Racklin now. Let's see. We can do some production. Again, we really don't have much in the way of gold, so we're just going to do merchandise in most cities, I think. Ripura, we've actually got a decent amount of units here, and what I might actually do is maybe we'll send off a few of them to, I think maybe, yeah, we'll send a few of them off to go kind of join up this way. And in terms of the city itself, I think we'll just do merchandise. Over to Bittercrest. So in our throne, unfortunately, we really don't have the gold to do a whole lot. Now, one thing we could do, because we do have the mana, we can start forging an item. This is actually a really good opportunity to do that. So I think what we want to do, we already, I believe, have a repair machine item with our warlord hero that has the machines in his stack. So maybe we now do an emergency repair. And I'll just double check that before I commit to doing it. So if we look at Warmaster Habby, his item is a repair machine item. So now I think what I'll do is I will produce... Oh, you know, actually, now that I think about it, though, another Dominate item for Leo might actually be really, really good. You know, I'm kind of torn. I think the Dominate item might actually be better now that I think a little more about it. So maybe we'll do that. And yeah, that's not costing us too much gold. So we'll pick a... We'll call this the Dominating Horn. And that will give Dominate to... We'll send this to Leo, I think. So again, I was going to go with the emergency repair item, but I think it's actually going to be probably more beneficial to give Leo the ability to increase his army size via Dominate. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Okay, so that was probably a decent usage of our small amount of remaining gold. So then in the rest of our cities, we're just going to do merchandise. Bebjun here, same story. Haas. Hard Thistle. Now, what to do with this cannon? I don't want to leave my tier 3 units guarding cities, because that's obviously not the most efficient usage of them. But in the short term, that may be what I end up doing. I am going to leave this cannon here just temporarily. Just looking around here, what's kind of... You know, it wouldn't be bad to even build up an army around my throne to go and clear this structure out. Get some extra gold income for my throne city. We could also go and eventually maybe try and raid some of these other structures for some extra rewards and whatnot. So, I think we'll tell this unit just to chill temporarily. Alright, we will end our turn there. Alright, let's see what kind of shenanigans happen over this. As my opponents have their turns. So obviously, I really don't want to come under any kind of attack. That's the one thing I'd hope to avoid here. I moved over to Colm City here because I want to see if... I'd like to see if he does anything to try to counter, as I've sort of got... Oh, well, now I'm in his domain thanks to that expansion there of his city as it grew in size. I can't imagine he's too happy about my units sitting right outside of his city. I did hear some wing beats in the background, so there's probably some flying units doing something. That might mean he has Manticore Riders, actually, now that I'm thinking about that, because he is the one moving right now. And it looks like he summoned something. I'm not exactly sure what... Looks like almost he's... Oh, you know what? He used the Warlord ability where he then got an irregular unit. He just summoned it right out of the city and used some of the city's population to do that. I can't... The name of the spell escapes me, but I used it in my last playthrough series as the Orc Warlord. So, yeah, he obviously is anticipating that I'm going to attack him soon. But again, those wing beats are kind of scaring me that I can hear in the background when Colm was moving. That means he's got Manticore Riders almost certainly. So I'm going to need to start employing pikemen units to counter that. Thankfully, I actually have a number of pikemen here coming up, so not that that's going to be all that useful as they're only tier 1 units, but I guess every little bit helps. You know, you got to try and use as much of the advantages as you can Now, in terms of what to do here with Pimpton, I'm just trying to think, where should I go next? Obviously, I want to grab this watchtower to get some extra vision range, and then I suppose I could just start clearing some of these other structures around here. Sphinx Temple might be decent. And again, it'd be great to recruit a few extra units, if at all possible. And we're not going to be able to recruit the Spirit Elemental because of 100% Spirit Protection, unfortunately. I was just looking kind of around at what we could try and potentially recruit. Obviously, we can try and grab one of these Draconian units for just some extra... Another body in the stack, basically. Alright, well, so far, so good. We haven't really had anybody attack us or anything, which is great. We've made really good progress in the Shadow Realm, actually, in terms of kind of expanding our control in sort of this I guess you would say, kind of the southern central portion of the Shadow Realm. Okay, lots of things have happened here. So, we've gotten better at governing goblins. Let's see. We can either get Goblin Swarm Darters get plus 10 health and Irregulars get plus 5 health, or all farms in the domains of Goblin cities generate extra gold. Now, that would be amazing because I'm just kind of keeping this open while I pan around here and look. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look like we have any farms in the domain of our Goblin cities. But the reason I'm excited about this is because obviously gold has been a bit of an issue for us. We really probably aren't going to be using a ton of Swarm Darters or Irregulars for that matter. So I think this actually makes more sense, even though it would sort of appear like we don't have any farms in the domain of either of our Goblin cities. So this being our owned one and this being our vassal. In any case, I still think the economic one makes more sense because we may eventually have Goblin cities that do have farms. We've had joint offers from Fula Zaire, and we've also had a joint offer coming from Valok. Again, I think we're going to hold off on those just for now. We've kind of been doing that. Arendal, same story. We're just going to continue to enjoy the benefits of having them as vassals. Now, Suppress Nature, we're going to cast that once again. That is nice to have that up. Now our units don't mind the terrain that they're not as fond of nearly as much. It basically gets rid of all the penalties, so that's great. We're going to pay for a peace treaty with this village, simply because we want to wander on through here. We'll grab that gold. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send Welby up through. We'll clear out this structure. Now, this is going to be way above our pay grade at the moment, as this is a... Oh, it's actually already been explored. Imagine that. Wow, so if we can get a hold of this city, we could get an Arcane Catalyst, which would be kind of cool. Let's just kind of converge with our scouts here. You know what? Let's even pop up and see what's on the other side here. Okay, fantastic. So that's going to allow us with Welby to basically pop up here on the other side of the map. Basically on the far eastern side of the map. And then we can maybe clear out this Lost Library and start kind of working our way out from here. And try. We need to really recruit some powerful units with Welby because we're still rolling with Tier 1 and 2 units, which, although leveled up, are not ideal. We want to have stronger units, that's for sure. And you know what? I think I'll bring this Assassin along with Welby. But that's great. We've now found a pathway out of the Shadow Realm for Welby, so that's actually quite good. Now, with Leo, we have had a chance to heal up at least a little bit, so we could now try this battle if we are so inclined. But I'm going to hold off on this one just for a bit, as I would rather... I want to see kind of what's going on over here while I have the chance. Okay, so it looks like... Yeah, so this city has been taken by Quandria, which isn't really surprising given that Quandria is a Shadow Elf, so she's a Shadow Elf rogue, so it's not surprising that she has a presence in the Shadow Realm. So this does confirm that we do have opponents now in the Shadow Realm that we're going to have to deal with, and we can start sending units over to basically, again, try and build up a force to hopefully take care of that. So I think maybe what we'll do is we'll retreat back for now, as we really don't want to mess with her if we don't have the units that are able to really deal with it. Ooh, and look at this, a proposal from Ix. They want open borders and a peace treaty. Absolutely, let's do that. Maybe they'll even give us a quest or something like that, or they can become our vassal. We can now start summoning hellhounds, which, you know what, that might not be so bad. First, though, I think we will do... Oh, I think we have a city that still needs mana fuel cells. Yeah, Yargan does. So let's start doing mana fuel cells, actually. Because we want to apply that to any cities that need it. Alright, so yeah, let's use Leo here. We can do this battle. We can grab some extra gold here, hopefully. Now, obviously, we need to be a bit careful as our units are not in the greatest of condition at the moment. So what we're going to do, we're going to retreat back. Fall back, basically like this. We will do a nourishing meal on Leo, a nourishing meal on our Brew Brother, and then with Leo, we're going to throw Phoenix Warrior on Leo himself. Boy, those stones did a lot of damage. Wasn't very nice. Okay, so now let's blast the Prospector for some damage. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to step up with this Brew Brother and just finish off the Prospector. And then we can use Leo basically to just fight this Boar Rider here. Might be nice to actually retreat the Mystic back a little bit, however. Fortunately, that means we're going to not be able to do quite as much damage, but I'd rather the Mystic be safe than not so safe. And then we'll use Leo like this, get a little aggressive. He does have that fearsome chance to panic the enemy unit, so that's great. Ooh, look at that, we're taking a lot of damage. Alright, again, though, thankfully we have... I said thankfully, or I was just, to finish that thought, thankfully we have Resurgence, which is going to protect us there. So I'm going to kill the Deep Guard. And then... I think with Leo, we might just finish off the Boar Rider if we can here. Very, very nice. And then our Brew Brother can step up, put some work in. And even if Leo ends up getting killed by the rocks here, that's not so bad. Okay, no problem at all. Again, Resurgence is just a fantastic kind of insurance policy there for us. Okay, so yeah, that was great. Some extra gold and some extra mana. Now, we're not strong enough to take this on right now, but once we get another unit or two in this stack, we should be able to move back and clear that out. Now, are we peaceful with these dragons? We are not, so we would have to sign a peace treaty with them if we want to move through their domain without angering them, of course. I think maybe... You know, I'm going to have to think about that a little bit. I suppose we could just kind of explore up north here a bit. Go kind of around the city. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Oh, here we go. We do have some structures we can go and try and clear out. So, yeah, we can try for this maybe next turn, Fire Node. But again, I really do want Leo to have Dominate so that we can start recruiting units with him. Alternatively, if I can summon a Hellhound, I could throw that in with Leo to give him something else to kind of help out his stack, which at the moment is in desperate need of some extra units. What's the fastest way up there? Let's do that. Uh-oh, and look at this. I didn't notice these before I moved that unit there. But you know what? Let's do that. There. Now at least we have a fighting chance if these units decide to attack me. Oh, actually maybe we don't. And in the city here, we're actually going to have to produce a unit to provide some protection for the city. Well, I might have just got both these units killed, unfortunately, which isn't so great. I mean, I guess we could send the spy drone up. My only issue then is that this can just come in and attack the city then. So, and you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have sent that unit out of the city, because now the city can be attacked. Ay, ay, ay. Well, we'll figure that out. Hopefully we don't get screwed on that one. Okay, we've already used Welby. We've kind of done most of the Shadow Realm stuff that I had kind of on the docket there. So now let's go back up and deal with Pimpton here. So, yeah, first things first, let's grab the watchtower here. That's just going to help us with vision range a little bit. And again, here we can recruit one of these units. Perhaps maybe the charger here. We already do have a pikeman unit, however, so maybe we go for the crusher instead. We'll figure it out. So again, our units now have resurgence, so we can be a little bit more aggressive if we are wanting to be. It's nice. Let's blast the crusher here. And then our slither can step up. I'll lock that down a little bit. Pimpton, on the other hand, we're going to retreat back a little bit. And you know what? We'll throw a touch of faith on our flyer. Our flyer can step right up here and do a nice big kill shot right there. Ouch, we took quite a lot of damage there with Pimpton. Let's try for the conversion. Ooh, and it didn't work. That's too bad. Our slither, on the other hand, we could step up and get the kill. Yeah, let's probably, or at least do quite a lot of damage. Yeah, there's the kill, no problem. Our adventurer, we can just do, basically blow some kisses at them with the amount of damage we're doing, but that's fine. Yeah, our sun guard can step up and do a guard breaker there. I should have done that first and then hit them with the adventurer. There we go. So unfortunate we weren't able to recruit that unit, but not the end of the world. Alright, so that takes care of that battle. We now have control of the watchtower, which is great. So now the question is, do we want to maybe head down to this Shrine to the Guardian Angel? We could, I think, try and recruit one of these martyrs. Yeah, they are not immune to mind control or anything like that. Do we have peace? I think we have peace with this. Oh, no, we don't. We'd have to sign a peace treaty. The other option is we head up this way and we go for the Sphinx Temple. I get the feeling, though, we might need another unit if we're going to really be serious about that Sphinx Temple. So, yeah, let's head on down here. And you know what? We'll move everybody in the stack to get the benefit. So Pimpton's going to heal himself because he's not feeling so hot right now. So we'll drop a nice self-heal there. Our Naga Slither can probably move in and do some work for us here, I think. Really do like these Naga units. The Sun Guard can step up. And again, if our units end up taking damage or dying, it's fine. Taking a decent amount of damage there from throw stones. So let's actually try and finish off the martyr if we can. Step up with our adventurer, do some damage to the martyr. We'll move in like this and get the backstab kill. Alright, so now that opens up this spirit elemental for some damage. Nice big flanking shot there, that's great. Let's step up here and do a little bit more work. Excellent. And now with Pimpton we can move on up. And we can actually try for the conversion here. Oh, and we didn't get it. Again, worth a try. Okay. So probably just try and drop a heal for somebody here if we can with Pimpton. I think our adventurers can go for the martyr and try and get the kill. Very nice. And then we can just get the finish here with our pikemen, I think. Very good. And now Pimpton can fly up, or move on up here, and heal our flyer. Our flyer and our slither can pretty much get the finish here, I think. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and we got a full heal there, so no worries. Well, you know what? We've got ourselves another watchtower down here, which, again, probably worth thinking about grabbing. Looks like we've got another city up here as well. A dwelling of some kind. So yeah, let's head along the road here and see what we can encounter. What else do we have? So now, yeah, we've got War Master Habby. So we have to decide, do we want to go underground or do we want to head over to Valok? Either way, we're heading kind of over in this direction. If we go underground, we do have something here, so it may actually be worth going underground with War Master Habby, at least for now. Do our engineers have tunneling? I don't think they do. No. Don't think our... So none of our units have tunneling, which is kind of unfortunate. If we're going to be an underground stack, it's nice to have tunneling. But we can at least go see what this is. Alright, back to the surface here. You know what, we can start sending a few of these units over to maybe join up with that cannon. Form a bit of a stack there. Meanwhile, these units, we might eventually send some units through here, through this Shadow Gate to go and take control of that Fula Zaire, which is currently our vassal, but has been asking to join us, so that may be something that we pursue. Let's see the rest of our units here. We can send this stack up to go and, again, follow up our other group. I think maybe we'll just hang out at this watchtower with this stack. Kind of just wait for reinforcements to arrive. Now, this cannon can keep on trucking. There we go. Yeah, oh, now we have our spy drone over here. Oh, yeah, I guess it's run out of movement. I was going to say we should get it off of the Shadow Gate, but it's done its thing already, so... Let's see if we can find some resources or something else with this guy. We're sticking to the lava to kind of hopefully protect from some of the roaming units that could be attacking us there. And we still have... Oh yeah, we still have this little guy who can do some more digging. So let's just kind of systematically chunk away at all this to get us some extra gold. Now we have Holly here, and we're gonna want to clear this out for sure. And then, you know what? We've got some pretty decent structures around here. Forbidden Sanctum we could probably take a stab at now that we've got some powerful units. We'll just add the Scoundrel in just so that we have a full stack here. Okay, let's drop a heal on our ogre. And, let's see. So we don't have to worry too much. Of course, we do have Resurgence on our units. I got to admit, just having that Resurgence, it's such great peace of mind because you really... I mean, again, it can lead to you making some silly decisions because you get a little overconfident, but you just really don't have to worry about sending your units in the same way that you would if your units didn't have it. Oh, our Scoundrel there really took a wallop there from that shot. That was not fun. There we go. Blast. Very nice. Now, we should, if we get the kill here, we should then get killing momentum to keep moving. Excellent. And then you know what? We can get a nice flank shot right there. Our Ogre can step right up and do some big damage. Do a little bit to that Scoundrel and then step up and get the kill. Excellent. And then you know what? We might as well go for a conversion. I wasn't even thinking about that, but... Oh, not quite. Does the Dwarf Scoundrel have tunneling? Doesn't look like it. We might as well just get the finish here with our adventurer then. Or try to. Not quite. Huh. Killed off our other unit there. Not that that's an issue for us, because again, we have Resurgence. So we'll do a little heal there. And our Musketeer can reload. And then our Flyer can step on down. Get the nice flank shot. So I think Holly is probably our... actually, definitely our most powerful stack at the moment. Ooh, a Draconian Hatchling and a cup of tea. Sure, I'll take those. Step Holly over to pick the items up. And... yeah, that's pretty good. So now our little Hatchling, we can use the Hatchling perhaps as a scout if we really want. Ooh, and look at this. Our units should be able... oh, we can't quite get there. I was going to say we could grab that extra movement, but unfortunately we're not going to be quite able to. However, we can go and raid this tomb, so let's do that. Yeah, let's head on over and go raid this tomb. Meanwhile, this little guy, we can send him up. Oh, and look at this. We actually have War Master Habby down here. So you know what? Maybe we'll actually keep War Master Habby on the surface then, since Holly is right there anyway. We'll keep him up here, and he can just charge along and go over to Valok here and or go north and do some work. He can stay on the surface while Holly can kind of have a bit of a monopoly on the underground. I think is going to be what we'll go for here. This little guy again, we're just going to use him to scout out, see what we can see. All right, so now let's do this tomb battle. This should be fun. Ooh, look at this. 2 Deathbringers. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think we'll be just fine, but... we will have to be a little bit careful in this particular battle. You know what? Let's do a Bestow Iron Heart to beef our Flyers up to almost full health. We can charge them in. Our Ogre's going to be right up in there. Our Adventurer can kind of assist. Scoundrel's in rough shape, so... might need to keep him kind of back. Oh, and there he goes. Alright, so we've got the Deathbringer who needs to die, that's for sure. You know what, let's just wail on him here. Got the kill, very nice. Actually do a lot of damage with our little Adventurer there. Now, our Ogre should be able to just get the finish. Amazing. And then, now, we can try for a conversion on that Hellhound, perhaps. Might not be such a bad idea. Oh, it can't be affected. Why not? Oh, it is dedicated to evil, so probably not the best. Oh, it's because it's an animal. I always forget about that. That's why. Alright, well, we'll just get the finish then. And then we can step over and blast the infantry with some extra punishment there. Heal up our Musketeer. Musketeer can do a nice blast if we want. Let's step up like this. Just freeze up our Ogre to be able to then come in and just obliterate those Hellhounds there. And again, we're not going to be able to really convert or do anything like that, so I think with Holly we will just do a touch by faith. Step on up. Blast, and then get the kill. Excellent. And there we go. All our units are back. Spear of the Jungle Dweller. Now that's a pretty nice melee weapon. Inflict severely poisoned, +1 physical strength, and +1 blight damage in melee. So that's pretty good. I think I'll take that. And we already have this blighted Goblin Hand Scythe. This is pretty much a straight upgrade of that, as it's giving us the same benefit plus inflict severely poisoned. So let's send this scythe off to one of our other heroes. Let's see what else we've got for... yeah, so Pimpton doesn't have a melee weapon, so maybe we send it to him. War Master Habby and Welby both have, and now Leo has one as well. So, yeah, we'll send this to Pimpton. It'll get there very quickly, which is great. take this and equip it so that it's there when it gets there. Awesome. Boy, it's nice having a very, very powerful stack that I can start clearing out these higher level structures with. That's going to make a huge difference in terms of income and items and just kind of giving me an extra way to kind of augment my economic sort of situation, as well as, you know, make my heroes stronger and whatnot. Okay, so that takes care of the underground. I think we've pretty much moved most of our stacks now that I'm kind of thinking about it. So let's think about our research now. So we finished off Summon Hellhound. We do have Resurrect Hero. Now, we haven't lost any heroes so far, but again, that's always a possibility, so we may want to grab that eventually. I think maybe Sidearms is going to be the thing we do next. It would be good to get this one just so that our cavalry have that option of blasting with pistols. Yeah, I mean, again, not the most efficient use of my knowledge, but I would like to get this one done. So we'll do that. All right, so now let's think about production, and we have a ton of gold. So hang on, before we maybe do our kind of city by city, let's do our most important cities. So we're still working on this Dominating Horn in Bittercrest, but in Hard Thistle, now in Hard Thistle, we could conceivably go for an industrial plant. It's going to only take us 3 turns to do. There's also the idea we should probably think about doing a Masters Guild. I think we'll do the Masters Guild first. And that's the reason we're doing this is because machine units that are built here are then going to be able to heal. It's also going to increase our production, production income. And I just think that's kind of overdue. We should have probably had that done. But we're doing it now. And then maybe we can do the industrial plant, get that out of the way. And then we could start pumping juggernauts out of Hard Thistle, which would be amazing. Now, as for Bittercrest, I think maybe we'll focus... Again, we might continue to do some more items there, but we'll have to see. Now, Bebjun, we want some units coming out of here, that's for sure. So we now have cannons and flame tanks as an option. I think maybe we'll load out a cannon. Although, you know, flame tanks wouldn't be so bad, and then we could clear out this castle of the Lich King. But I think for the siege, I think the cannon might come in a little more handy. So let's do the cannon. Okay, so that's used up quite a lot of our gold. So I'm glad we kind of prioritized those cities first. Now let's think about our other cities, in particular Ripura. We're doing units to help defend it. Rackle here, we have to decide what do we want to do to develop it. We have some options here. We could do an observatory. That's not really going to bring anything extra into the city limits here in terms of benefit for us. So that's probably not that useful. We could do a barracks to start getting some better units to be able to be produced there. A temple for some extra mana income. Flowrock Citadel. Now, you know, this might be a good city to actually produce machine units since we have the Flowrock Citadel here. That might actually make things kind of nice for us. So maybe we do the Flowrock Citadel and then we do the Dreadnought's Foundry and we start working towards producing machine units. You know, I kind of like that idea, actually. I think that's pretty solid. Yeah, let's do the Flowrock Citadel, then we'll do the Foundry. You know what, I'm actually going to start that just so I don't forget. And that way we can start pumping machine units out of that city. That'll actually work out quite well. They'll have a little extra health thanks to that, that upgrade from the quarry. Yargan, we're still working on the Builder's Hall. That's going to more or less take care of those cities. Now let's do our little Tigran ones off to the side here. So in terms of Assiut here, a blast furnace would be ideal. Then we could start pumping out some pretty solid machine units. However, might be nice to grow the city a bit faster, so maybe we just do a storehouse. We've got lots of structures around here that would be beneficial, so let's do the storehouse to just increase growth rate. Yeah. Bahas, on the other hand, you know what, we can do a shrine. That'll help our mana. Oh, we don't quite have enough gold. Dang it. Alright, we'll just do merchandise then. Now, oh, we do still have Welby able to move, but that's just because we could move into the areas where there isn't this vegetation. Same goes here. We're going to hang out. All right, so that does it for our turn. We will end it there. Oh, and by the way, we are now pure good, it appears. Unfortunately, someone else beat us to getting pure good, which is kind of annoying. So we didn't get the reward benefit from that. Okay, let's see if Colm's going to do anything fancy here now that it's his turn. I wouldn't be surprised if he masses a force and tries to kind of push back against me, but we'll see what he does here. And I have no idea. I would guess that these two teams of 3 may have been in combat with each other already, but that would be kind of cool to see if that's the case. So yeah, he's just continuing to summon extra civic guards there using his little spell. Okay, so that did it for him. Galendil. Now, Galendil's the one who snaked his units down through the forest here and attacked my throne city, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. Again, may want to even put a fort right around here somewhere, or a watchtower, just so I can see what's coming down the pipe in the middle here. Now, again, we're going to have mana fuel cells. Mana fuel cells is going to be applied to any city we own that doesn't already have it. Again, I think we have that city in... Yeah, so all of our... Ooh, and we don't have it here on Fahas. So we've actually got multiple cities that could benefit from it. Let's check out the Shadow Realm while it's Quandria's turn. Just want to make sure she doesn't send an army down here to quash my units. Okay, Zorn is moving now. We still haven't seen really anything from him. I don't think we've encountered any of his units at all. Oh, domain invasion. Rip your, Oh, and look at this. We got an achievement. Protector of the Light. That might actually be for becoming pure good. So... Again, you can tell I tend to play evil, hence I didn't even have that achievement. So that's kind of cool, something else that I hadn't really done. So this unit must have moved through there. I'm really surprised they didn't attack me, this little group here, but I guess I should be thankful. Now, we have a proposal from Shrazar. They would like to open borders and be peaceful. I will accept that, happily. Fulazair offers a tribute, a small army, or some extra mana. I will take the small army. Thank you very much. Oh, and look at this. We've got some roaming units there, so we'll have to figure out if we want to try and fight them. Probably not. So we might just run these units kind of back through the Shadow Gate. Okay, domain invasion there. Oh, Heptatopia. We actually are the first. So we're the first to acquire 7 towns. We now have... Ooh, and this is really good for us. 100, we have 100 base happiness increase. We're not a necromancer, so that doesn't apply. So that's great. That means we're just by default happier, which obviously, as halflings, is always good. Lots of good things going on here, so that's great. Oh, Decry can offer... Yeah, and they would like to become our vassal. I will happily accept that. Great. So now, yeah, we have tons of vassal cities. This is fantastic. We now have the item finished, so we'll handle this. And then I think maybe we'll call it an episode at this point. Kind of with this turn just freshly started. We're going to send the Dominating Horn off, as I said, to Leo. Because he really needs it. He's kind of on his own. Be great for him to be able to it would be great for him to be able to recruit units using that rather than having to rely on me summoning units to aid him or things like that. Now, we have mana fuel cells. Let's do that while we're thinking about it, and then maybe we'll call it an episode. So we already have it here, but we can add it to Rakalin here. So now that boosts it to 137, which is great. And then if we jump over to Bahas here, we can throw it on there as well. So let's do that. Excellent. Okay, so that's 2 more cities that now have increased production capabilities thanks to that spell. And yeah, I think we're going to call it right there. So again, we're amassing a force here outside of Sassistan to siege Colm, and we really made actually quite good progress, I would say, in the Shadow Realm in terms of we've now got a number of cities that are either in our control or our vassals. We also have to put, you know what, we can do this before the episode ends. Well, we're kind of on this mana fuel cell spree. Let's throw it on Yargan as well. There we go. Very, very good. But yeah, as you can see, we've actually done really well in the Shadow Realm, and we now have Kurzu as our vassal, so we're definitely making solid progress, and we're starting to now kind of shift our focus to being a little bit more offensively minded, which is definitely a goal that I had going forward here. So, episode 14 is going to be in the books here. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.